Hi, I'm Emely Stardust, and today I'm gonna tell you the story of my first tattoo that I received on my body when I first went to a real tattoo shop, actually. 17 years old, not knowing anything, still not. And it's not just about a tattoo, it's actually about trust, intuition, and realizing what a big thing tattoos actually are. I think before I was not really aware of that, both for the body and for life, I would almost say. So let's just start with the story. I was 17 years old. I went with my childhood friend, I guess, because he was already older. He had a car and stuff, so he took me. He took me to his tattoo appointment, knowing also that I was super curious about it, and he wanted to have this perfect lettering of a date. I didn't feel comfortable doing that to him. Like I was like, "Whoa, go to a tattoo shop, but take me with you." And he took me, and we went to Cologne to this specific tattoo shop. And when he finished his tattoo, I asked the lady if she can already reserve me an appointment, could we already schedule something, plan something, because I mean, I was still 17, but in a few months I would be 18. So I was like, maybe we can already make an appointment. I was just like, I want to get a tattoo. I want to get a tattoo. I was so excited about feeling it under my skin. And she was like, sure. What do you want to get? I was like, hmm, that's actually a really great question. What do I want to get? I hadn't even thought about what I want to get. I was just so focused and fixated on getting a tattoo that I didn't even think about what it could be. So on the spot, right in front of her wanting to close the studio up, I was just like, give me a second. And I pulled up I know you all also have it. Everyone has it. Don't lie to me. My tattoo folder in my gallery. And one of the first pictures that I had saved for such a long time was a skull on the thigh. I can actually show you my first tattoo. It's this dot work skull, which is quite big for a big tattoo. And I remember when I went to the appointment, 18, I made the appointment 2 weeks after my 18th birthday. I was like, yeah, when? Maybe I give myself 2 weeks of being 18 and then I can already get a tattoo. Why not? So I went to get it. This story is so crazy. I went to get it, not even being sure why am I getting a skull. Like the only thing I could think about was, this is forever. I'm gonna take this to the grave. It's forever. And I remember I was sitting on the toilet before going to my appointment, and I looked at my thighs, literally like admiring the bare skin. And I looked at it. I was like, which side should I get it? And I had this kind of thought of, I looked at my thigh. I tried to remember how it looks like clean. Because I knew after this day, I'm never going to see it like this again. That's the last time I see it like this. And it felt like such a huge thing. It seems so funny to me today, being as tattooed as I am, working so much with it, having it so integrated in my world at all times. But at that time, it was huge for me. I went, and my best childhood friend also came to support me in the process. So it was scary, right? Like I was still a baby also. And it meant a lot to me that it's perfect. And it was very hard to trust anyone doing it perfect. As an artist, I don't know, I was skeptical. And then she started to be like, do you know what dot work is? I was like, sure. I didn't know what dot work is. I would have known, I would have told her, no, I don't want this. But she did it that way anyways. She used dot work. She was done in 2 hours. She charged me 600 euros, which I think, all I could think in that moment was, really, did she just make 600 euros in 2 hours? Just like that. Boom. Done. And such a huge piece. for me, this was huge. I know I'm a baby, like my legs are probably kind of skinny. So it was not the biggest tattoo on the A4 paper. It looked cute. Let's just say. She's like, I can't do it bigger, your legs are, there's no space. I was like, okay. So we went with that size, and during the tattoo process, me feeling that pain that I was causing others for the first time. I mean, I mentioned in the previous episode that I had been tattooing people before I even had my own tattoo, my first own tattoo. It felt like crazy to figure out the pain of it. And I was like, okay, it's actually, when she did like the spiral part and the longer lines, it was hurting, like it was painful. And well, I think I was too scared in that moment to say, when I figured out that this is not turning out the way I wanted it to, in a gray wash shaded way, I was too shy to say anything. It was also already too late. We talked, and that artist was very intrigued by me. I remember it was like a middle-aged lady, and I was too shy to tell her that I was tattooing and that I was curious about the journey. But my friend did, and she called me a tattoo artist, which I did not dare to call myself because I was not at that time. I was playing around, I was experimenting, but yes. She just told her, like, yeah, my friend is a tattoo artist. And that lady was like, oh my God, you should tattoo my right hand. I cannot tattoo it myself. I can't, like, I'm right-handed. I tattoo with the right. So she still had a free spot on her right hand. And I was shocked. Like, the trust again, like I already mentioned it in the first episode, but again, it was on so many corners that people trusted me so much. They were just like, yeah, I want to get tattooed by you. So yeah, she insisted. She actually, after, asked me for my contact and everything. She had not seen my work, like which work even. I didn't even see myself as like I said, I didn't even call myself that. But she was just blindly trusting so much, which was very empowering for me, right? Like I felt, okay, it's really meant to be. It has to be really meant to be. Everyone is insisting like that. So I was like, I don't know. And she was like, stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. This is the first advice I want to give you. Like, you're doing this, and you cannot second guess, you cannot doubt, you cannot be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, you have to stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. Like, act like you know what you're doing. Know what you're doing. And I was like, ooh, okay. Went home. We went actually to party that same day to dance. It was not ideal at all. It was also another first lesson for me. Like, first of all, coming into that tattoo shop, seeing it all, seeing the prices of the pieces that she had on the wall. Imagine the abundance. I mean, at that time, I didn't think about that probably the tattoo artist doesn't get all of it. That they also have expenses, and if you pay them 600 euros, they don't just keep the full 600 euros. It makes logical sense, but at that time, it didn't to me. Like, I didn't think about these things. I was just like, oh my God, I'm gonna make just as much money. Definitely, no question. It was actually super motivating. And yeah, we went to dance to keep the storyline. And my leg got all warm. Like, I didn't get infected, but the tattoo, it was like red, it was hot, it was hurtful. Like, I felt, I'm also so sensitive. I was already back then. So I would pull the leg behind me, being like, I'm in pain, guys. And yeah, I didn't listen to the instructions that I was given at the tattoo appointment. Like, you should. And I learned it that day. It's not just a random thing. It's actually an open wound on the body. And it needs to be treated with respect. It needs to be treated with rest. And I think another lesson that I took from that day was how she was mirroring me. She was just giving me infinite trust, asking me to do something crazy, like tattoo her hand without even having seen her work. Like, it made me feel so confident, even though I didn't do it in the end. Sometimes the outside trust, like I said already in the last episode, is so powerful. And also, what was powerful in that moment was to know my limits. I was pushing the limits already. I was going very far in what I was doing, tattooing people before I had even been tattooed. And yeah, trust in myself as they trust in me, and knowing what I'm capable of, I guess. Know thyself. It's a really big lesson here. And I knew I couldn't do this. I could maybe do small little symbols and rockets and stuff, but I couldn't do a hand tattoo. It's also one of the most difficult places, I learned later, to get tattooed, because the skin renews the most in our whole lifetime on our hands as we wash them, as we use them. So there's a lot of skin regeneration, and yeah, there's a lot to make a good hand tattoo. I'm glad. I don't know how it would have looked like in the end. I didn't do it. I knew my limits. I stayed humble. And I didn't push it too hard, so I didn't have any bad experience. I guess that's also a point that always motivated me to keep going. That there was a good balance in everything. Like, I was pushed and I was pushing also, but never too far. No, never over exaggerating it or over exhausting myself, which is, I think, very important in the relationship with self and the things that you do in life, and on a small and on a big scale. Let's just say that. And one more thing that was really important for me was to understand that art can monetize, like art can create abundance. When I gave her the 600 euros, after 2 hours, I was like, that's insane, and it's possible. And I'm just like, wow. I imagined myself being so rich one day in that moment. Just a baby. But it was really motivating to go down that path. And I don't know, this whole idea of I could be doing something that I love every day and probably make more money than a 9 to 5 also office job. It depends on the office job, of course, but it felt so fulfilling, the whole idea, the whole concept, and having it so feasible, so in front of my eyes, seeing it, feeling it, also feeling the pain of my own first tattoo, and also figuring out that it's actually a really rewarding pain, let's say. I was like, yep, let's go. So I hope you enjoyed the story about the first tattoo that I ever received. Next time, we're going to be talking about how I took a leap of faith and I just went to London with almost no money, chasing that artist dream and freedom and what else. I can't wait to go into detail and share it with you on the next episode. Hope you're still there. Thank you so much for listening today. And let me know in the comments your story of your first tattoo. Did you feel scared? Was it thought through? I forgot one lesson actually. One of the lessons was also my intuition, because choosing that tattoo was a really great choice. I think a very profound soul choice, and the soul does great choices. It's very aligned with your highest self, right? So I didn't have time to think about what I'm going to get. I just intuitively reacted, responded even, and gave a feedback and chose. My soul chose this tattoo that I have now. And I'm really grateful. Like, I think I've always had that. And in these moments, and I think it was a really important moment to have that connection to my intuition. It's a beautiful reflection. It's especially today, it's beautiful to look back at it and be like, yeah, actually all the decisions we take, we can trust ourselves on them. There's some intuitive guidance going on, and everything was written in the stars already anyways. So soul choices, intuition, definitely a big thing here. And I'm glad I chose that way. I wish it was more often that easy to intuitively make such big decisions, because a lot of times the mind comes in and just gives you all that information that is actually not even that relevant, and sometimes not knowing everything about it and knowing the most about it, it also just creates more confusion sometimes. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's easier to take a decision just because you have all the information now. Sometimes the first itch in your belly, your guts, they tell you everything already. And in that moment, it was definitely like that. But yeah, coming back, thank you so much for listening. Let me know in the comments about your story, about your first time being tattooed, about how impulsive it was. Was it something you thought about for a very long time? 25 years, I don't know. You tell me. Some people only get tattooed when they are 40. Or was it something you always wanted and you just knew what and you just went? Or is it even something that you think a lot about at all? Because I know everyone is very different in that. And also every tattoo that you get is very different in that. So I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments or let me know on Instagram. Feel free to reach out to me. Definitely gonna reply, even if it might take a second. I can't wait to chat with you about it. And thank you so much. Talk to you soon. It was lovely today. Thank you. Emely Stardust.